they're just, I guess people think Patrick's a bad guy, but Josh O'Connor is the sweetest guy you'll ever meet. You know, he couldn't be further from this kind of guy. But what's interesting is when I talk about details for performance or whatever, is there's a few little things that I love. There's a scene when they're eating dessert at the party.
Oh yeah.
And it was Mike's choice. If you see him, he's like scooping off all of the whipped cream off of his strawberries, because he feels like Art would be like, I can't eat that. I have to just eat the strawberries, you know. Meanwhile, the other characters like had 3 already, you know, and he eats his churro. You know, he's very just like, or there's a part where Josh is walking through and he has a hot dog and then he just throws the wrapper. And it makes me laugh every time. I feel like people don't even notice that, but it's a little thing that shows you that Patrick's like, I can just litter. Like people will clean it up. You know what I mean? And it's little things like that I think build these tiny moments that like build beautiful characters, you know, and you catch it if you catch it. And
Tell me about Luca Guadagnino, your director. He's so passionate.
Yes.
I had a chance to talk to him a little while ago, and he's just somebody who loves this. You know,
and
knows how to do it. And so in directing you guys, what was that like?
I think he just has such an understanding of character. I don't know. He just sees people for all of what they are and wants to explore all the complicated parts of them and show it in the most beautiful ways. And I know like some of our first conversations about the characters, it was even things down to like the kind of like lotion she uses before she goes to bed, you know, and like we were like, oh, that's the kind of woman she is, you know. She likes to wear a silk slip to bed. Do you know what I mean? She's not wearing regular pajamas or a t-shirt. She's wearing a silk slip. But you know, it's it's little things like that, you know, that build these characters and also tracking them through time and how they change and how they evolve and what are their hopes and dreams and fears and these characters are so, you know, intertwined and so messy in this really beautiful way. And I think he just captures that feeling and adds things that because I don't know if there's like maybe I'm making this up, but like for example, how windy it is in the final. I don't believe that was originally in the script. I think that was just something that he added, the texture and the chaos of it. But he sees things in this really beautiful, visceral way, and wants to tell stories about complicated characters that are messy and make mistakes, but still you love them and you root for them and you want them to win. And I appreciated that specifically regarding, you know, Tashi, because I didn't want her to be like a caricature of a strong woman, like, you know, He, you know, it needed to feel earned and honest. And I appreciated that he allowed her to be vulnerable as well as strong. And
you see that even everything and her manipulation and all these things, you know, that an actor might look at that and go like, oh God, you know, do I want to play that? And I mean, the scene on the side of the bed with the 3 of you is the best piece of seduction and manipulation I've seen since Mrs. Robinson brought Benjamin into the bedroom in The Graduate. I mean, and the way you had to pitch that between the 3 of you, it's just beautiful chemistry between the 3 in doing that and the way it's written and acted.
Well, I appreciate that. I think again, it's a testament to the team that's around, because we talk about like how, you know, oh, that scene, it's sexy and it's manipulative, it's this, all these things. And it's like, for us, it was also quite technical, you know, because we had to make sure that the timing of the kiss worked with the camera that's coming in, and I have to get back and it's got to pan up, you know, there's just all these other things. And really there's while it's a 3-way kiss, it's more like a 4, 5, 6-way kiss, because there's so many other people. I feel like the camera is the fourth person, you know, because it is a dance between all of us, and it's not just us that's making this. It's a group of people. so I feel very lucky to kind of share that with others. But yeah, they're just, these characters are a mess. They're an absolute mess. And I still have debates with people over Team Tashi, Team Patrick, Team Art, Team this, Team that, and what I appreciated about it is there is no set in stone kind of answer to it. It is quite messy, and people can leave going, well, actually, he's the bad guy. And then you watch it again, you're like, is he though? And you change your mind. And I found that every time I watched it, which I watched a million times because, making the dang movie, I thought I had like a clear understanding of what the ending was. Right. And I remember I talked to my mom and she watched it and she was completely different. And I was like, really? That's what you felt at the end? And she was like, yeah. And it was fun because it allowed me to have like a conversation with her. And I think that's the beautiful part about what we do, about being able to like empathize with the bad guy or someone we perceive as the bad guy and try to see it from their side.
Yeah, it's an open question, particularly the way it ends. Gives you so much to talk about when you leave the theater.
Exactly. Lots to talk about and not a lot to answer. I've been asked so many times. People are like, so what happened? I was like, I don't know. I've asked Justin a million times. We don't know. And
Justin is the screenwriter.
Yes, who's absolutely brilliant. And I don't know. What was really special about the rehearsal process is Justin was there, so we got to ask him a lot of questions because I was like, why? Why is she doing this? I still to this day I can't quite decide what her intentions were when she went to go meet with Patrick. Right? Like, was she fooling herself? Did she know what she was going to do, or did it just happen? Did she plan it? Was it all mastermind? Did she plan this whole thing? I still I kind of go back and forth in my mind about what her intentions were and what she felt like she was trying to do that night. Because I think even as humans we can kind of convince ourselves, well, I was doing it because of this, and maybe there was a little part of us that was doing it for other reasons, so that's the human part of it. Is there really is, I don't know. I don't really know why she did it.
That's so interesting, so, because some actors will go and invent an entire backstory and know every detail in the way you're going to play it.
Yeah.
But you still have questions even at this point.
I do, because I think, when we look back on things with retrospect, like because we've lived and understood what we know now. And I think, if she looked back at the experience, she'd probably tell her husband, oh yeah, I did it on purpose. I knew what I was doing. Yeah. But we saw you, girl. No, you didn't. You thought you were going to do one thing and then you got caught up in the moment, you did something else, but like we as human beings, we're messy. We change our stories to align with what looks better at the time or what we thought, I knew all along. Yeah. It's like an ex, I knew he was bad all along. Well, could have fooled us, So, but that's being what it is to be a human being, and live a life and learn and make mistakes. And I look at the characters the same way.